Good morning, dear students of PG third semester, course unit 10, course 10, Modern and Contemporary Poetry. I am Dr. S.K. Paul, Head of the Department of English, BRA, Bihar University, Muzaffarpur. Dear students, today I am going to deliver my lecture on W.B. Yeats as a modern poet. William Butler Yeats, one of the modern poets, influences his contemporaries as well as successors such as T.S. Eliot, Ezra Pound and W.H. Auden. So, three common themes in Yeats's poetry are love, Irish nationalism and mysticism. But modernism is the overriding theme in his writings. Yeats started his long literary career as a romantic poet and gradually evolved into a modernist poet. As a typical modern poet, he recreates for post-war modern world, which is now in a disorder and chaotic tuition and laments for the past. Yeats as a modern poet is anti-rationalist in his attitude, which is expressed through his passion for occultism or mysticism. He is a prominent poet. He is a prominent poet in modern times for his sense of moral wholeness of humanity and history. Yeats as regarded as the seed of modernism. He is intensely aware of man in history and of the soul in eternity. Yeats is a representative modern poet and presents the spirit of the age in his poetry. For this, he uses myth, symbolism, juxtaposition, colloquial language, and literary allusions as a device to express the anxiety of eternity. After the World War I, people got shattered and they suffered from frustration, boredom, anxiety, and loneliness are the characteristic of the modern age. Yeats has used different type of landscape to symbolize the spiritual and psychological states of modern man. The second coming is a superb example of Yeats's modernism, as in this poem, Yeats portrays the modern chaotic and disordered condition after World War I, and the poet tends to escape from this situation, turning in the widening gyre. The falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart, the center cannot hold, mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. Then, a powerful expression of Yeats's agony facing old age appears at the beginning of Sailing to Byzantium. That is no country for old men, the young in one another's arms, birds in the trees, those dying generations at their song. In among school children, he considers himself a comfortable scarecrow. The heart becomes comprehending, unfortunately attached to a dying animal. In the tower, Yeats calls the aged body an absurdity, a lights with which she will be able to face at the upcoming challenges of future. Actually, his prayer is for all people of future generation. In Easter 1916, his sense of humanism is in which is another modern trait in literature. The horrible effects of war cast a gloomy shadow on the poetic sensibility of the modern poets. He feels, even for his rival, he had done most bitter wrong to some who are near my heart. His use of symbols is another modern trait in his poetry, which is complex and rich. He is the chief representative of the symbolist movement. Yeats draws his symbols from Irish folklore and mythology, philosophy, metaphysics, occult, magic, paintings, and drawings. Several allusions are compressed into a single symbol. His symbols are all pervasive key symbols. The rose, swan, Helen are his key symbols. Symbols give dumb things voices and bodiless things bodies. Thus, Yeats is one of those celebrated modern poets. Symbols give dumb things voices and bodiless things bodies. Thus, Yeats is one of those celebrated modern poets who flourished in the beginning of the 20th century and created their own style of poetry in order to show their dissatisfaction and the world. Yeats, as a modern poet, is anti-rationalist in his attitude, which is expressed through his passion for occultism or mysticism. He is He is a prominent poet in modern times for his sense of moral wholeness of humanity and history. Now, a comparative study of Yeats with his contemporary poets is necessary. Yeats and Eliot are two famous contemporary poets, and it is believed that Yeats is the seed of modernism, where Eliot is the tree of that seed. Eliot has great influence on Yeats. Both have certain things in common. Both are intensely aware of man in history and of the soul in eternity. Both at times see history as an image of the soul writ large. Another important similarity of Yeats with other modern poets such as Eliot, Pound, is that they lament for the past and tend to escape from present miserable conditions toward an illusionary Eden. In this regard, Yeats differs from Auden, who celebrates all disordered conditions of his time into his poetry. Yeats was a modern poet. He, like T.S. Eliot, is a representative modern poet and presents the spirit of the age in his poetry. Like Eliot, Yeats also uses myth, symbolism, juxtaposition, colloquial language, and literary allusions as a device to express the anxiety of modernity. After the First World War, people got totally shattered and they suffered from frustration, boredom, anxiety, and loneliness. Yeats has used different type of landscape to symbolize the spiritual and psychological states of modern man. Now, let us analyze some of the poems individually to trace out modern elements. I will do it in my next lecture, volume 2. Please wait for.